What's up, beautiful people? It is your boy Tareq, and I'm back today with another Love Island review for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on, so every time I upload a video, you guys are notified. Let's talk about tonight's episode, people, because I'm not gonna lie, this whole ekin-su versus Elma situation, it is getting long and it's getting quite boring. You guys need to come to some kind of neutral agreement on how you're going to solve this issue. Instead of bickering every day, why not come to some kind of resolution, even if it's being cordial with one another? It's not a matter, oh, you don't have to be, no one's saying you have to be the best of friends. No one's saying you have to kiss each other's asses. No one's saying anything like that. All you have to do is be cordial. You're living amongst each other. You've got a few more days left. I'm sure you can manage it. But before we get into it, yeah, I was acting as if I had something to say, but I don't think I have anything to say. No, I don't. Anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into the review. So Sammy and Elma have a conversation. They think that Ekin and Curtis have a grudge against them, and I think I wrote that wrong, but what I mean is Ekin and Curtis think that Elma and Sammy have a grudge against them. And to be honest with you, could I say that Elma has a grudge? Maybe. You know, someone's supposed to be your friend and then they kiss your man. Like how Elma did admit to holding on to things. So I don't know if that's the case, but bless me, I'm so sorry. I don't know from Sammy's point, because why would Sammy hold a grudge? Elma, cool. But why would Sammy hold a grudge? So, quite frankly, on Elma's end, maybe. But from Sammy, I don't understand. So, if I try to balance out the question, maybe it was just a genuine question. But if there's like a pattern of things where they constantly feel attacked, then maybe there's some kind of, I don't know what to say, grudge there. But again, it's just a game, but then it's not just a game. I don't know. To be honest, these lot need to kind of sort it out, because we need to actually wrap up the storyline now. Like, okay, we get it. Ekin and Elma don't like each other. It's cool. Like, us as the public, we actually understand that. But it's a matter of what's going to be the solution to this situation. Okay, as much as it's bringing great content, it's bringing great TV. I'm not trying to be watching that all the time like that. Like, come on, like let's actually wrap it up. Ekin and Curtis are talking to each other and they are feeling attacked by the question. Well, to be honest, everybody got asked questions that they didn't like, and they charged it. Well, they charge it because they didn't continue it on. It only seems to be Ekin and Curtis that are continuing this on. Like, okay, cool. Everyone got asked. Casey got asked to think about Clout. Who else? Luca got asked to think about Sammy. Luca also got asked about the thing about Harriet, and everyone has seemed to like move on, but Ekin and Curtis are not moving on. And this is why I say I feel like Ekin-su's just a bit dramatic. Like, it's actually not that serious. Like, you're caring too much about other people. You want validation from other people, and it's really not that serious. Like, you and Curtis are so good, as you lot say. What we say, what Elma says, what Sammy says, what Casey says, it shouldn't matter what anybody else has to say. If I know I'm in a situation with someone and I know I'm fully locked in, I don't give a monkey's ass who has what to say. Like, you're not the one sleeping with me. You're not the one taking me on dates. You're not the one. You understand? Like, why do I care what other people have to say? Like, F their opinion. Your opinion's not paying my bills. So I don't understand this constant obsession with, even if the public said no, charge it to the motherfucking game. Charge it. Elma clocked Curtis. And this is why you lot can battle with me in the comment section, because a couple of people have been saying, especially on TikTok, not so much YouTube, but on TikTok, a lot of people are saying to me, oh, how can you like Elma? She's so rude. This and that. Okay. You lot. Okay, let me put it like this. Like I said, Elma telling Curtis to F off, there was no need for that. That's bottom line. There was actually no need for her to say that. She did not need to say that. But overall, if we're talking about Elma, I don't know why you lot dislike her. It's because she's real. I'm sorry, but that could be the only other thing. You lot are just saying she's rude, she's this, she's that. Okay, yes, everyone has rude elements about them, you know. Let's not actually do go too much in on Elma, you know, because if we're all gonna call it spade a spade, we all can be rude at times as humans. We all can be. Let's actually calm down. We all can be rude at times as humans, right? And Elma, obviously, yes, she probably still feels the type of way towards ekin-su, wouldn't you? If your friend, let me ask you lot a serious question, yeah? YouTuber to viewers now, this ain't even about no TV show, this is real life situation. You're telling me your friend kissed your man in a challenge. Well, in real life, that wouldn't even be a sort of, let's say kiss your man. You ain't gonna feel a type of way. Come off it, man. I like, yeah, Elma's saying, oh yeah, she can move on, but I feel like the more she's probably deep in it, it's like F ekin-su. And it's the way that she tried to lie about it too, and also tried to play it off. And then you're telling Elma, let it go. Okay, Ekin, you let the challenge go. If you're telling Elma to let it go, you let the challenge go, right? The hypocrisy for me is beneath me. I don't like the hypocrisy. You're telling Elma, let it go. You're telling her, let it go, like Elsa has been singing, but you can't let the damn challenge go. Like, pick your battle. Actually, pick your battle. But yeah, I completely missed, like, Elma clocked Curtis by saying that just because he says the word darling at the end of every sentence doesn't actually make him a nice person. Oh yes, we gonna clock his tea today. Because Curtis, he's one of them sly ones. He talks nice. He's got a nice, soothing, well, I think his voice is quite soothing, quite low, quite mellow. It's not always them ones that are nice, you know. Don't be fooled by their antics, because we clearly see his antics. He didn't give a toss about Ekin when he was getting to know Danielle. He couldn't even be upfront with Ekin about the whole Danielle situation. But now everybody wants to be did you not forget? Sorry, stuff like that to me personally. And then you're going back on your word. You're not a man that stands on business. You don't stand on your principle. You don't stand on your principle. And I didn't even know that Elma and Curtis were on the same season. I didn't even know this. Again, I did not watch Love Island back then, so that's even an insight to me. So Elma's been knowing Curtis. So what's next? You lot are quick to jump and say this person's a bully, that person's a bully, this, that, and the third. Elma is not bullying. Elma just feels the type of way about Ekin. She don't like Ekin. That is it. She doesn't like Ekin. Point blank, period. Because if she really liked Ekin and really valued their friendship, the same way that Elma made up with Kaz, she would have made up with Ekin. She don't give a rat's ass about Ekin. Otherwise, it would have been the same kind of similar situation as Kaz. She doesn't. Grace and Luca then proceed to have a conversation. They were talking about the Sammy question, and Luca was saying the only person that has that answer is him, which is true. Everybody, and I like how Luca's moving, like, he doesn't care what anybody... Ekin, take notes. Get your notepad, get your pen, and take notes, because this is how you should be reacting. Luca doesn't actually care about the outside noise. He doesn't care what anybody else has to say. It's a matter of, oh, this is how I feel. This is how I'm telling you how I feel. What we got going on is the only thing that matters, and that's how it should, point blank, period. Luca is saying it is just Grace, and he's getting 100% from him. Like, she's going to get 100% from him. And they are closed off on the outside as well. So not only are they closed off in the villa, when they go on the outside, they're not going to be seeing anybody else as well. So yeah, Luca and Grace seem to really be in it for the long run. And they look cute together. Things seem to be going well. So I hope them two, you know, I hope things actually really work out for those two. Casey and Ronnie have a conversation. Ronnie said if it wasn't for Harriet, he wouldn't be friends with Luca. I mean, Casey, Ronnie doesn't F with Luca. Ronnie just doesn't F with Luca. Casey actually asked a great question. So Casey asks, would it be hard to navigate a friendship considering Harriet and Luca are friends? And that's very true, because you don't like Luca, or you don't F with Luca, but you're going out with the girl who's been friends with him from since they were childhood. That's very complicated. So you and Luca are gonna have to come to some kind of agreement or something. You cannot put your woman and then put deep what's happening here. You cannot put Harriet and Grace in an awkward situation, because remember, Harriet and Grace, it's a weird dynamic because Harriet and Grace are close friends as well. Well, best friends, as Harriet has been screaming. And Luca and Harriet have known each other from since childhood. And Ronnie doesn't F with Luca. And then if Luca and Harriet are not friends, where does that leave Grace? Like, it's a very weird situation. Like, all four of them need to sit down and have a mother's meeting, because if we're being frank, if we're being Lampard, I wouldn't want to lose a friend that I've known from since knee high over a man. I'm actually so sorry. Like, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't want to put myself in that kind of scenario. Ekin and Curtis go over to talk to Elma and Sammy. Now, this is where it got spicy. This is where we added the ginger to the tea and things started sizzling up. Okay, Ekin is fuming with the question. She's fuming. Emin came over. Ekin came over and was like, right, you lot keep attacking us in the games. I'm not happy with the question. Rare. And I'm thinking to myself, while Ekin's going off, I'm like, okay, cool, you're upset. I hear it. You're valid to feel how you're feeling. But it's like, I'm just thinking in my head, you did tell Elma to charge you, basically. Shouldn't you do the same? If we're going to call it spade a spade, shouldn't you do the same? I mean, it's just a question at the end of the day. It's just a game, right? Like I said, in this villa, nothing is just a game. Nothing is just a game. And with that challenge, it was actually personal. So because of the questions that were getting asked, it was coming from. But then I feel like people were still kind of like being too cute with it, because it was a thing where it was like, oh, and we just wanted to know so you can get reassurance from the public. No. You want it to be messy. Elma and Sammy, you want it to be messy. But luckily, it didn't, the mess, you didn't get the full heat from Ekin, because it was like, anyway, let's get into it. So she said, since the heart rate challenge, Elma hasn't managed to let the situation go. And I'm in agreement with that. Elma could say 1,000,001 times, they spoke about it, they let it go. But Elma is doing like little things. Like I said, guys, I like Elma. But when someone does wrong, they're wrong. Elma has done like little small things where it's like, I feel like you're trying to nitpick at Ekin. You're trying to poke the beast. You're trying to poke the beast out of hibernation. And we all know how Ekin can get. And as we saw, and as I was watching her raging up the place, I said, this is the ekin-su from season 8. This is the Ekin I know. This whole, oh, I'm calm. I don't like being like that. No. The Ekin that we know is season 8 Ekin. I told you already. People's masks have been slipping. People all coming in trying to change. Obviously, Ekin realized she messed up on Big Brother. So I felt like she tried to come in on Love Island to try to rebrand herself and try to make herself look like, oh, I'm actually a no, because we actually saw the real Ekin. That's the Ekin-su that we all know. That's the Ekin-su that we all know. I personally said it's not that serious. How Ekin is saying you're lucky. It went the way that it did. What do you mean by that? So what if the public what if it was a different answer? What would happen? You're lucky, That, to me, like, when people start saying things like that, that's threatening. That's threatening kind of talk. Because what do you mean by I'm lucky? Because the way I would have answered that now is, you know what? It should have gone the other way. What would you have done? Like, we would have got into it a little bit because, sorry, who are you talking to? I'm lucky. What do I have to be lucky about where you are concerned? Please enlighten me. What do I have to be lucky about? I'm waiting. I know it's not me you're talking to. Like that. Why is Ekin trying to prove her and Curtis? Why are you trying to prove so hard that you and Curtis are solid and real? And this is how I know these two aren't gonna last. And this is how I think it's theatrics. And I think the whole thing is it's fake. I feel like they're just trying to win the 50 bags. And let's be frank. It's not even, they're not getting 50 bags each. They're getting what is it? 2,500. No, not 2,500. Oh my god. They're getting 25k each. when you actually think about it, in the kind of world that they live in, that's not that much. In the kind of world that they live in, hear the words I'm saying. In the kind of world that they live in, that's not that much. With the amount of trips that they do, the influencer gigs and stuff that they do, and all this type of stuff. Think about it. 25,000, they will blow that in this, unless they use this wisely. They'll blow it. I feel like they're just trying to get to the final. I feel like they are. I'm so sorry. I don't. I told you guys already. I do not believe Ekin-su and Curtis are a thing for a minute. They may have some of you lot fooled. They're not fooling me. No. Do not be surprised if when you hear, I'm going to give it. I'll give it a month. And that's me being nice. I'm gonna give it a month. You'll hear that they're not to give it no more. Remember I said that. How is Ekin saying let it go, but she can't let the question go? Again, it's the hypocrisy. If we're gonna keep it all the way 100, if we're gonna keep it all the way real, if you're telling one person to let something go, then you have to let this go too. But then Ekin was saying that she's been holding how she's really been feeling, and then it's all kind of just come out. I mean, when you do hold things on your chest, it can't just come out in one hit, but you have the same energy. You told Elma to let it go. So let it go. And like I said, I put here, this is the real Ekin-su. And I said, this Ekin versus Elma is the one for the books. Like, the argument that they had, they were literally shouting at each other from across the villa. It was giving entertainment. I can't lie, I was highly entertained. Elma said her and Ekin are not friends. And then in the changing room, they both pretended like nothing happened. I mean, that's how it is. If I'm not friends with someone, right, and we get into it, okay, yeah, what are you talking about? What just happened? Sorry, who did I argue with? I didn't argue with anyone. Oh, you mean the person that's not relevant? Like, that's how you have to move like that. Sorry, I don't really want to know that you exist. Like, it's a type of thing like that. We're not friends. I don't care about you enough like that to care about what just happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? Grace, Ekin, and Gabby have a conversation. Grace is telling them about the conversation her and Luca had last night in the villa. Ekin says every single game she feels like they are being targeted by Sammy and Elmo. Ekin said it's funny how they didn't talk about the age gap because they're not pressed. They're not pressed. Then they're not pressed about that situation. At first, it was a problem for Elma. She's not pressed now. So what's tea? What's tea? What's actually tea? Ekin believes ever since Elma got favorite girl, she has been different. I said Elma by mistake. No, I didn't. Ekin believes ever since Elma got favorite girl, she has been different. Not Ekin saying what some of the public are thinking. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Because I've seen some comments, especially on like videos I post on TikTok. I've seen some people saying ever since Elma's got favorite girl, she thinks she's the shit and all this type of stuff. It's crazy. Ronnie got a text that the boys are going to play a game of paddles. I didn't know what that was at first, but it's basically a version of tennis, but in like a cage. They go to play paddle. Ekin goes to talk to Gabby and she receives the text. The girls get a video call from home. Gabby talks to her brother Ethan. Her brother gave the approval of Casey. And it was sad to hear that Gabby did lose her father 12 years ago. So when they were saying, oh, would dad be proud and stuff, like I already knew in my head that their dad is no longer around, which it is unfortunate. Elma talks to Amber. So for those of you that watch Tawi, you know who Amber is. Amber's her good friend, part of girl band. You lot know who Amber is. Amber says that she's been herself from the beginning. And this is what I'm saying. If you lot watch Tawi, you lot would know. Like, this is Elma, innit? Like, she's not acting any different. And this is what, like, me personally, she just says it how it is. Sometimes it might come across a bit rude or it might come across a bit abrupt, but you know, at the end of the day, it's better you know the hard truth. Now, it's the same way when Elma told Scott, go home. Like, you're wasting Tina's time. Some of you thought that was rude, but that's not rude. That's just Elma. That's the harsh truth. You're wasting people's time. Go home. We're so used to people sugarcoating things that we can't deal with the harsh truth. That's the real tea. That's why everyone's all saying, oh, Elma's rude. Elma's this. Elma's nasty. She's not nasty. She's just too real for some of you. Don't hate me, Don't hate me. If y'all don't have thick enough skin to take the truth, that's not Elma's problem. That's a you problem. Amber clocked out ekin-su because, and this is why I like Amber, because Amber was like, if you were someone's friend, you wouldn't be kissing their man. Amber said it herself. Are you not gonna still argue with? Are you gonna go in Amber's comments now and be cussing Amber for saying that? Because that's facts. It's facts, and I'm glad someone else is saying the same thing. Like, I'm glad someone who's your friend wouldn't do that. So the fact that you lot are defending Ekin on that is crazy to me. It's actually crazy. Amber is not sure about Ekin and Curtis. She thinks it's theatrics. Amber, you're not the only one. I promise you're not the only one. I think the same thing. I don't believe. No, it's not. I know. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it. They could be together for 12 months. I still won't believe it. Them two, I do not believe. I don't. I'm sorry. Curtis cannot say you cannot say you're closed off and then still get to know another girl and then come and say sorry and then you can't even be honest about. No, I just do not believe it. Catherine talks to Whitney. Those who watch season 10 of Love Island, you lot know who Whitney is. I started grinning from ear to ear. I can't lie when they started talking. When Whitney started doing this, is why I love Whitney. She just started, and I just started grinning. I'm like, these two. Yes, I was grinning from ear to ear. I won't lie to you. When he says she doesn't know if she's giving Omar, if it's giving Omar wedding yet, but you know, slowly. Whitney doesn't trust Sammy because of Jess, but she did say that she has seen a lot of growth from Sammy. Like, she has seen growth, and maybe that's just wasn't the right lady for Sammy. And to be honest, like I said myself, I've seen a lot of growth from Sammy myself. It's not just Whitney that's witnessing this. I'm sure the public can agree as well that we have seen a growth in Sammy's behavior. Whitney is not feeling Casey and Gabby. She doesn't trust Casey. I do not blame Whitney for feeling the way that she feels. Yeah, they look cutesy now. But I guess with Casey and Gabby, that's just one we'll have to wait and see. I don't know how. We'll just have to wait and see about that one. Grace was questioning what Whitney meant by how she felt bad for Sammy. I guess maybe because Sammy didn't have long in the villa, and also as well that there wasn't really anyone else for her. So it was like her time was wasted in a way. I feel like Sammy was done wrong myself. Do I feel sorry for her? No, you tried and you tried and it didn't work out. It is what it is. But what I do feel sorry for is they didn't utilize Sammy the way that they should have. They could have made a hell of a show if they brought Sammy in literally around the same time Grace had come in. So like Grace came in, let's say today, probably a week down the line, Sammy came in. It would have been more interesting, but you lot brought her in too late. It's a shame. Harriet talks to Saffron. I didn't know what her name was at first until someone had said her name later. Or till Harriet said her name later. She's shocked that Harriet got with Ronnie. Harriet's mom approves of Ronnie and Harriet. So that's basically the green light to say, go ahead. And I feel like this is what Harriet has been waiting for. I feel like that's what she needs. She just needs that kind of approval from the public, from her family, to be like, yeah, you have the go ahead to see Ronnie. And they've all been basically saying they can see a change in his behavior and how he's grown and how he really, really adores her. She said if Harriet fell out with Luca, how would that be for Grace? And yet, yes, again, you have to ask yourself that question. You call Grace is meant to be your best friend. So if you was to fall out with Luca, where does that leave you and Grace? Those type of situations are very sticky. If you're a girl's girl, then you'll stick with your girl no matter what. But if your girl is leaning more towards her man, that's when it gets treacherous. I'll be so real with you. Harriet got confirmation about what she said in the game towards Casey. And she did say, shut your effing mouth. So, yeah, she did say that because Saffron told her that. And then it made Harriet feel bad because she genuinely cannot remember. She thought she says, shut STFU. But either way, STFU or shut your effing mouth is still the same aggression. It's still very disrespectful. So, either way is disrespect. Curtis and Sammy have a conversation. They feel that the conversation got heated. Curtis really wants an apology from Elma. You're not going to get it. So give up. You're actually not going to get an apology. Just leave it dead. Elma already said, okay, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. That's as close of an apology you're gonna get from Elma. She's not gonna put you. I don't know what it is with Curtis, but Curtis gives me that kind of energy that's like, I'm not gonna give up until I get what I want. I don't know who you think you are, but Elma said she shouldn't have said that. It was basically she's admitting that it was wrong for her to say that. Okay, she's not saying the words "I am sorry," but that's basically an apology. But you want to hear "I am," you want "I am sorry" so badly. Elma don't give a F. She don't. Again, you're another person. She don't give a heck. She don't like you. She don't like it. She done says she don't apologize. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Agree to disagree. Just leave it. It's really not that deep. Curtis wants to feel entitled. That's what it is. Curtis is entitled. He feels like he deserves an apology. Be man enough on us. Be man enough and go to Elma and say, I feel like you owe me an apology. And see what she tells you. She'll tell you, go and make me a tea and go and get me some biscuits. That's what she'll tell you. That's what she'll tell you. You're talking to Sammy about Elma. Pick up your 6'2" self and go and speak to Elma and ask for an apology. You need to man up. Curtis actually needs to man up. I'm sorry, he's too much of a P. And he irritates. He's too much of a P. Because why can't you go to Elma and ask her yourself? Don't irritate me here today. I said yes. Sammy also said Sammy called him childish after the stuff that Curtis has done. And it's funny how not Sammy, sorry. Curtis called Sammy childish after the stuff that, how he's behaving. And then Sammy was like, you call me childish after the stuff you have done. Not being honest about your feelings. Childish. Saying you're closed off, but you're not. You're really not. Childish. Directly lying to ekin-su's face. Childish. Do I need to go on? Oh, I didn't think so. Curtis just wants an apology so badly. And like I said, you're not going to get one. Grace is talking to her dad. Grace's dad really likes Luca. Her dad thinks Grace has been quiet. The dad was like, oh, where's the drama, Grace? We want the drama, basically. And Grace is saying that she doesn't want that. This is what she came in here for. She came in here to find basically Mr. Right. And it looks like she's found out within Luca. Grace's dad asks, what about the distance? Because Grace is moving to London and Luca's in Brighton. But to be fair, London and Brighton are not that far apart. They're not that far, especially on a train. I think it's only like 45 minutes on the train. It's really not that far. It's not that far. Driving, I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour. That's without traffic though. But yeah, it's not. Brighton is not that far from London. It's not that far. Ekin is talking to her brother, and I can't lie, I do rate ekin-su's brother because ekin-su's brother actually keeps it real. Like, he actually keeps it real, and he says what's on his mind. And I respect people like that. So Ekin's brother thought that Curtis was a fanny at first, but he's grown on him. He still is. That I have to disagree with. Curtis is actually still a P. Because instead of you going to Elma to ask for an apology or to speak to Elma directly, you're speaking to Elma through her man. It's weird. So no, it's not the fact that you thought he was at first. He still is. Let me correct you on that. People are questioning if they are authentic. Your own brother's telling you this, ekin-su. Your own brother is telling you that you need to open your eyes and open your ears. Your own brother. He thinks Harriet and Ronnie are the weakest couple. I wouldn't even say they're the weakest. I wouldn't even say that they're the weakest. I wouldn't even say that they're the weakest. He said if Grace had... It said it looks like Grace has Luca on a leash, and that's not a good predicament to be in. I mean, I thought that at the start as well from the Sammy situation, but it's not. From when I look at it from a different perspective, Luca just wants to make sure that the girl that he really likes is great, and I don't think it's about having him on a leash. I feel like if in future situations things happen, I'm not talking about stuff as extreme as him kissing another woman, but like certain situations, and Grace is the one that wears the trousers, then I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, because you're not going to be telling me what to do and telling me, like, you understand, like, it's 50-50 partnership, you understand? It's not going to be 80-20 or 80, no, we're not doing that. So I feel like it's a thing where, like, I feel like just because of the situation, that's how it may have looked, and that's why for me, it was like, oh, Luca's scared, but in hindsight, Luca's not scared of Grace. He just wanted to make sure she was good, especially after he had effed up. But Luca was doing some funny business by, like, Grace stood on business. Grace was like, what do you want me to do, and stuff like that. So it's not like having him on a leash, where it was like checking him, because it's like, you're not gonna get sympathy points for effing up yourself type of thing, you know? And Ekin Master asked, does the girls basically have her back? And he was like, no, he doesn't think that they have her best interest. And he asks, how come when what situation was it that he mentioned again? What situation was it? There was a situation that happened where it was just Curtis that was defending. I think it was the table. It was actually the dinner situation. It was just like, Curtis, like, where's all the girls? I think some of the women are just actually drained from Ekin, in my humblest opinion. I think they're just drained. I feel like they think Ekin is too much. I could be wrong, but hey, this is just my opinion. Harriet asks what Amber said about Ekin, and Elma told her how Amber said it's all theatrical. And then Ekin is telling the girls what her brother said about the weakest couple, and told Harriet that her brother thinks Harriet and Ronnie are the weakest couple. And yeah, the episode basically ends there. We don't get a preview for tomorrow night, so I guess we will have to wait and see what occurs tomorrow. But guys, that's the end of today's review. If you guys have made it to the end of the video, please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new with the notification bell on. And beautiful people, I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I know with the help of you guys, we can definitely make it. Yeah? Let me know in the comment section as well what you thought about tonight's episode. I will see you guys in tomorrow's review. Take care.